Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about pet fees and the fees that go along with bringing your pet to the vet and having to fix any issues that you may encounter with your veterinarian and the fees that they may charge. As we all know, the rise of vet fees has been going up pretty quickly, and it's gotten to the point to where it is higher than what us humans would actually pay when we go to the hospital or something. And it's actually pretty wild because if you look here, when we go with us versus our own pets, the dotted line you see is us and what we spend yearly. And then the straight line, that has no dots on it, is the one that we typically don't see when it comes to our pets because we don't realize how much money we spend on them every year. But since clearly 1984, it has gone up steadily since then. And into 2006 was the highest I could get for a chart like this. But we're spending up to $2.5 billion a year on our animals. And since 2006, that has gone up 17% more since then. And so it it's really hard for us to be able to pay for ourselves and pay for our pets. And here you can see that from 2004 to 2015, the pet industry has brought in about $60.59 billion when it comes to veterinary fees from simple things like shots or major things like surgeries and cancer treatments. And so for this, we have to learn what can we do if we can't afford treatments like that, because we all love our pets and we wish the best for our pets. And so here I found a map that shows just about everything that we are looking at when it comes to majoring in vet school. There is your dotted line here, which is emergency and critical care. About 58% of people tend to lean towards that one. And then here we have the referral. This one was referral and specialty medicine. My bad. And this one was emergency and critical care. We have about 56% going towards that one. But as you can see, we had about 5.5% going towards general medicine and surgery. But since then, that number has drastically went down. And almost 70% of veterinarians were doing that. But they have quit because so many people would just rather put their pets down, or they would rather let their pets suffer at home because they can't afford to pay the veterinarian fees that it costs. And it's not that the veterinarians are being greedy or that they want to make our lives harder. It's the fact that this stuff costs a lot of money. And so they have found ways on which they can help pet owners continue to help their pets feel better and give them the surgeries that they need and the medications that they need, while also benefiting the veterinarian. As you can see, a lot of pet owners have been switching to something called the credit care card, which is only used when it comes to the veterinarian, and only certain veterinarians even accept this card. It is a credit card that you can charge up to a certain amount, which is decided when they do your background check and your work check. And they set an amount, and you can charge that card and continue paying it off like you would a regular credit card. A lot of people nowadays are switching to using pet insurance. I know a lot of companies have it. I know Geico has it. Let's see. Progressive has it. There's not really name brand companies that we know of. It's ones that you have to look up, and they're like Petco Insurance, or it's weird names, but they're pet insurance. But when looking for pet insurance, you have to make sure you're going for something that is reliable and that is real. You don't want to be paying for something that you can't even use. There's also the one where pet owners are really leaning towards because they can't afford to do pet insurance, or this just happened randomly and they didn't think they would ever need pet insurance. A lot of owners have started turning towards doing things like saving up, putting a savings account for their pet, putting money away somewhere safe in the house, because you never know when your pet is all of a sudden going to get cancer, or they're going to get sick, or they're going to get into something they shouldn't, or they're going to fall and need, something to treat the broken bones, or get x-rays, CT scans, or blood testing done. Our pets are random, just like we are. Stuff happens and we have to fix it. The last thing that I can recommend is starting a GoFundMe account, or an account where people can go on there, read why you are asking for money, and if they feel that you really deserve it and that you really need it from the bottom of your heart, then they'll donate the money towards you. There are a lot of pet stuff like that. It's not just like GoFundMe. There are a lot of charities, adoption centers, and other things that you can go to and look up and see if you can apply for those. When it comes down to applying for grants and charities or loans, you have to look at the bigger picture, because a lot of the times people are denied. And it's not that the charity doesn't want to help them. It's just we don't meet the qualifications that are needed and desired when we look for things to offer the money to. But saying that, there are a lot of charities and grants and loans out there that we can all look forward to when it comes to doing things like this. If all of a sudden your dog breaks their arm and you have no money whatsoever and you can't afford any of it, you can look up the funds, the charities, the loans, the grants, and there's a lot of things that you can look at. And most of the time, when we don't get the funds that we need or think we deserve, it's because they look at the background checks and look at your work checks. And, sometimes you have felonies, or you have charges or something like that, and they just decide this isn't worth it. And so all of this money comes from different people in the U.S. and around the world. There are charities out there that get money all the way from India, and it's awesome that people are there to help support us and help be with us in our time of need. And a lot of people are worried, where does this money come from? Do I have to pay it back? No, you don't have to pay it back. That's why there are charities and grants. But with loans, yes, you do have to pay those back. But most of the time when the money is given, it comes from anonymous people, because they don't want you to know who they are. They don't want you to come and thank them. They're doing it out of the kindness of their heart because they want to help others. And also, if you get denied for donations or charities or grants, you can use a thing called pro bono. Pro bono it's the same thing as charities and grants and stuff, but you don't get the money. The money is already saved in that veterinary office, and it is put there for people that made the qualifications that just literally can't afford a penny. And they're like, okay, well, we'll do this for pro bono, because we see that it can be a pro bono operation, and that we can use this to show our students that are in training what to do and how to perform a specific operation. A lot of this is most of the time is when a pet needs an operation that you don't see much in the veterinary community. Most of the times they use it for when something appears out of the middle of nowhere, and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And so it's really cool and really awesome if you ever get to look at things like this and get to see the aspects of being a veterinarian and learning how much money is actually going into what is being done within research and general operations.